Hey everybody, it's Martial Monkey here, and this is going to be my James Gunn Suicide Squad 2 video. There's a lot to talk about with James Gunn doing the Suicide Squad 2, also known as just The Suicide Squad, just like The Batman. This movie will be coming out in 2021, so we will talk about it. Before that, if you want to get updates from me on when videos are happening, you can follow my Twitter at MartialMonkey8. There's a lot of updates, a lot of cool tweets, a lot of jokes, things like that I like to post, and follow me on there if you just want updates on what's going on. That's the best way to contact me and ask me things, and I'll tweet you back. It's exciting. All right, anyway, let's get back to the news. James Gunn has been officially confirmed to do Suicide Squad 2. Now, we knew that this was going to be happening kind of like in the back of our heads, right? Because they reported that he was in talks to do Suicide Squad 2, to write and direct. Maybe it was just direct at one point. I'm not really sure. But of course, Gavin O'Connor was supposed to direct this. Then he was out. I think David Leitch, well, maybe not David Leitch. I don't know who. There was like a lot of different directors in the running. But James Gunn was looked at heavily after he, unfortunately, well, depending on, your views, it's unfortunate that he had to leave Guardians of the Galaxy just because he did really good with that property. So he left Disney because Disney decided to let him go due to some tweets that resurfaced recently-ish, like last year. They came back to haunt him. So he left Disney and Marvel, and now Warner Brothers has officially picked him to write and direct the movie. Is this exciting, and am I excited for this movie? Yes, I'm very excited for this. Why? Well, I feel like James Gunn did really well with adapting the Guardians property that I think he could do really well with Suicide Squad because they're very similar. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what if this is another Joss Whedon situation? And Justice League and the Avengers are really similar, but Joss Whedon ended up doing so badly with that. Well, here's the thing with that. Joss Whedon was finishing somebody else's work. Also known as Zack Snyder. He was finishing Zack's work. James Gunn will be totally approaching this with nobody else touching it. This is his project completely. He's not finishing it for anybody else. This is his thing. This is also going to be like a soft reboot, also known as a relaunch. So there will be new characters. I do hope they keep some of the main characters. I would love to see Boomerang come back. I'd love to see Will Smith's Deadshot, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. They're just so iconic, and I think that they've left such an imprint on the DC fandom that to not bring them back would just be a huge mistake, especially after Margot Robbie has been involved in her own projects recently with Birds of Prey. As you know, I don't necessarily agree with what Margot Robbie's doing with Birds of Prey, but she's still getting a lot of people hyped, and again, Harley Quinn just made such an imprint on the DC fandom, especially Margot Robbie's version, and to not bring her back would be kind of insulting, right? So again, James Gunn is approaching this new. Nobody else has been working on it. It's his thing. Now, the only problem I'm worried about is that because Disney is very strict and Warner Brothers isn't, that'll give him more leeway to do jokes that might not be appropriate. Not saying that he's going to bring his past to this project, but he does have questionable humor. I mean, look at the Scooby-Doo films, right? So, I mean, there's some things in there that probably shouldn't have been in there. And I feel like Suicide Squad 2, if done properly, I don't think it should have negative, or I guess negativity from the media surrounding it. But if those kind of jokes are going to be in the script, then I think that the media will probably recycle the old story of him and his tweets and bring it up during the press tour, the press relevance to Suicide Squad 2. Now let's talk about characters. Again, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn should return. This should be in the DCEU. I know that the Batman most likely will not be the DCEU, or maybe it will somehow, and it'll be flashback films, but this needs to be DCEU. Why? Well, I feel like they've established Suicide Squad pretty well here, and of course with Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne teasing, us at the end credit scene with Amanda Waller, it just makes sense to bring it back into, tying it back into this ongoing universe. I know that DC's kind of getting a little looser, and Warner Brothers is getting looser with the DCEU and trying not to make them connect as much, but that is a mistake. I think that they're doing well with that in the solo films. When it comes to the team movies, they should tie back in, and I think that's a really good idea to do that. Now, this also gives us a chance to introduce new characters. I definitely recommend Killer Frost. Such an interesting character, and I feel like The Flash, I haven't really been caught up on The Flash Season 5, but I know The Flash has been using her, and it's been kind of weak in recent seasons, so I feel like they could do a really menacing Killer Frost here, whereas they can't do on the TV show due to them setting up themselves for that unfortunate event. They could also do Black Spider, King Shark. There's just so many characters you could do that could up the power levels of the squad, and they can give them more variety within the team. It's exciting. I really am excited for this. I think James Gunn could have a lot of fun with this if he writes it like Guardians, which is a big if, but if he does, this could actually turn out being really well for the DCEU and Warner Brothers. Let's just hope that it just goes all according to plan, because if it doesn't, that would be really unfortunate. But what do you guys think? I mean, do you like the Suicide Squad relaunch that James Gunn is doing? Are you fortunate, thinking? Are you hopeful this will be a good movie? And do you want them to replace some of the main characters from the old movie? Or do you want Margot Robbie and Will Smith back? I mean, what do you guys think about that? Don't forget to comment down below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video and subscribe. And I will see you guys later for some more videos. Bye-bye.